all starts with this armored group trying to break through. Dozens of tanks and armored vehicles are deployed to capture Ukrainian positions. The number of tanks and BMPs grows as they move forward, attacking from different directions. But Ukrainian defense was ready. Battalion commanders witnessed the assault in real time and ordered to prepare the artillery. Ukrainian artillery receives the coordinates of Russian column and strikes. Meanwhile, Russian commanders begin shelling Ukrainian positions to support the advancing vehicles.
Замечено было передвижение противника в данном районе, значит, там было несколько групп, до примерно 15 человек. Заносили туда вооружение, оборудовали позиции.
Russians deploy two AS-7, a high-caliber Soviet-made artillery.
38-68, да. Навести. Первый готов, наведен.
Meanwhile, BMPs and tanks keep advancing, suppressing Ukrainian soldiers with fire. Russian column gets in the range of Ukrainian anti-tank howitzer.
Рапира одну огонь!
The shot hits and damages one of the vehicles. Russian column keeps moving. That's when Ukrainian M777 opens fire. A close hit, but it's not enough. Russians move closer, and Ukrainian soldiers use ATGM to try and stop one of the vehicles. A miss once again. The situation gets critical as Russian forces move closer, but it quickly changes after this shot from Ukrainian artillery. A direct hit on the Russian tank, and the vehicle stops. Javelins are used to stop the BMPs with infantry. A precise hit. BMP is now heavily damaged. The fire from Ukrainian soldiers intensifies as more Russian vehicles move closer. The head tank hits the mines and stops. This becomes a key moment for Ukrainian forces, which allows to gather intelligence and win more time.
Так, і мені скажи, скільки бачиш техніки, тільки швидко, раз, два, бачу, вліво, ведемо дальше.
The head tank blocked the path of the other vehicles, which results in one more tank hitting a mine. Ukrainian ATGM groups are working non-stop, trying to take out Russian armored vehicles.
Пуск!
Russians carry massive losses. Despite that, they manage to break through and drive straight to Ukrainian trenches. Now the mission becomes clear. The tanks roll in and suppress the enemy with fire, while BMPs quickly deploy infantry and retreat. Bomber drones fly over Russian BMPs and drop the explosives. Russian soldiers rush in Ukrainian trenches and take cover. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces use 120mm mortar to strike Russian infantry.
Миномет один огонь!
Пострел! Пострел!
The battlefield turns into real chaos. Ukrainian forces use every weapon available while Russian troops continue advancing in Ukrainian trenches. Tanks and BMPs begin to retreat, but it was far from over. Russian artillery starts shelling Ukrainian positions.
21:05, прицел 419.
The fact that Russian soldiers were already inside Ukrainian trenches did not stop the artillery from firing. Russian armored group leaves the positions, but they became a target of Ukrainian artillery, which was already waiting for their retreat.
Пацаны, танки отходят, ловите их на отходе. Любомир, пострел!
shell hits the target, triggering the anti-tank mine.
Есть! 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 Взорвалась одна!
Russian troops group and take cover while waiting for their next command. Meanwhile, Russian officers order more artillery strikes on Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian soldiers suffer from the non-stop shelling. A UAV drone is used to locate Russian artillery units which continuously fire at Ukrainian soldiers.
Висота. Плюс.
Drone operator tries to locate a position of Russian artillery. A 2AS-7 system is located. It can fire shells up to 40 kilometers. That's when Ukrainian HIMARS comes to help. When the system is deployed and coordinates are set, the missile is fired. Precise hit from Ukrainian HIMARS. The ammunition detonates, which results in complete destruction of Russian artillery.
Так Хаймерсы прилетают.
Russian forces quickly realize that their artillery is in danger. A Tor M2 air defense locates a Ukrainian drone collecting the intelligence. Operator locks on target and fires surface-to-air missile. A successful hit. The skies are clear for now. Meanwhile, the situation on the front line gets very heated. Russians advance and get into fire contact with Ukrainian soldiers. Russian forces begin their retreat as they get pressured by this Ukrainian man. But the assault was far from over. Russian commanders send another column to completely crush Ukrainian defense line. One more column is already a few hundred meters away. Tanks and BMPs are full of infantry and are advancing at full speed. That's going to be a real test for Ukrainian forces. BM-21 Grad is deployed to strike the advancing column. Rockets hit the target, taking out one BMP. 4 armored vehicles are left. Russian tank opens fire, but Ukrainian forces manage to fire back despite the battle in the trenches. Russians drive past destroyed vehicles and continue suppressing Ukrainian positions with non-stop fire. Ukrainian Vampire drone manages to stop one of the APCs, but despite all the efforts, Russian forces break through. The tension is beyond words. Ukrainian soldiers get encircled. Meanwhile, 2 BMPs full of Russian infantry are moving closer. Ukrainian soldiers use RPG to try and stop one of the vehicles, but they get hit by the tank. Russian soldiers moved to the trenches, but Ukrainian Vampire drone was already waiting for them. 2-pound explosive is dropped. Russian soldiers carry serious losses after first minutes of deployment. Meanwhile, the BMPs begin their retreat. Ukrainian artillery was prepared to strike Russian vehicles as soon as they start leaving.
Ловите их на отходе!
Close hit, but Russians managed to save their armored vehicles. Meanwhile, another group of several tanks and APCs attacked from the flank. But this time, Ukrainians were ready. Russian forces fail to strike the flank of Ukrainian defense lines. Precise fire from Ukrainian artillery and smart mining of the area caught Russians by surprise. They thought that all firepower was already used on previous groups, and it will be an easy mission. But when Ukrainian FPV drones join the battle, the chance of advancing reduces to zero. A swarm of Ukrainian drones takes out Russian vehicles one after another, crushing the plans of the sudden flank attack. Meanwhile, Russian soldiers fail to gain a foothold. Ukrainian drones keep dropping grenades, causing massive troubles. Ukrainian artillery also plays a crucial role in stopping the assault. Vampire drone takes out the fortified positions, leaving Russians no chance to hide. The situation gets critical as the ammunition runs out. Russian resources quickly decrease as they lose more and more soldiers. Ukrainian drones witness a devastating sight. Russian soldiers begin to retreat, but there is nowhere to hide. Completely abandoned by their commanders, Russian soldiers realize that their assault is finished.